like a farm. It's muddy. Wanna pick up load number 3. There we go. I'm getting pulled over by the state trooper, guys. All these people are speeding by me. He's gonna pull me over. Some bull, man. There you go. Getting what out. Is going on? What is going on? You are on the way with your boy Jay, and I am not making too much noise. So, some call them road pirates, some call them crooks. But whatever the case may be, you cannot always escape from the DOT. And as the title clearly states, your boy recently got pulled over by the state of North Carolina DOT. And as a result, a full level 1 DOT inspection was performed on truck CDO3, which is classified as a Class B commercial vehicle. Now, a Class B commercial driver license gives one the authorization to operate a straight vehicle that has a gross weight in excess of 26,000 pounds and on public roads. And a straight vehicle is where all of its components sits on a single frame, excluding the use of any trailer attachments unless it weighs underneath 10,000 pounds or 5 tons, either or. So, CDO3 is a quad axle dump truck. It has 2 steerable pusher axles, meaning that while on the ground, you do not have to lift them up before making a turn. In fact, some pusher axles are unsteerable, meaning that you must lift them up prior to making a turn. Okay, and furthermore, CDO3, while empty and with a half of a tank of diesel, weighs a tad bit above 29,000 pounds and is legally able to haul between 35,000 and 36,000 pounds, equating in a gross weight of a tad bit above 65,000 pounds. And that is on North Carolina interstates and low tonnage roads due to the North Carolina bridge law. And this bridge law does vary from state to state, so please be sure to check in with your state's DOT laws specifically. Okay. Now, on your normal regular public roads, CDO3 is legally able to haul anywhere between 20 and let's say 20 and a half tons, which equates in a gross weight of between 69,300 pounds. It all, like I said, depends on how much fuel you have in the truck, but I usually try to play it safe by keeping a weight at a maximum of 69,000 pounds because it is not worth the risk of getting a ticket, especially being that the majority of the work that we do is paid hourly. So it's just not worth getting hassled over for a few extra 100 pounds, although we pay our taxes for a gross limit of 72,000 pounds, and I will be addressing that in another video or at another time. So moving along, and for clarification, just for you all who might be unaware of what a level 1 DOT inspection is, well, it is usually performed by a DOT official, normally a state trooper, in which they perform not just a thorough and very detailed inspection on the vehicle, but also on the driver of that vehicle as well. Keep this in mind. What makes operating such heavy-duty machines on public roads more dangerous than should be is going to be that of a dangerous driver. Okay? And these are not toys. These heavy trucks can be extremely dangerous while in the hands of the wrong individual, which is why it is so very imperative that the state trooper performs a thorough check on the driver as well. You definitely do not want someone behind the wheel who is intoxicated, under the influence, who has maybe a major health issue, or who is improperly operating that vehicle. Now, personally, I do not do any drugs of any kind. I do not come from a criminal background whatsoever. If I do drink, which I do occasionally, I definitely do not do it while driving. My Class B commercial driver license is ultra clean and is also valid. And also my DOT medical certificate is and was valid during the time of that occurrence. Yeah. So everything on truck CDO3 passed with flying colors, with the exception of one issue, but it was not mechanically based, nor did it pertain to me, myself, and I will be addressing that issue at the end of this video, so please stay tuned for that. And the overall procedure took approximately 25 minutes, maybe 30 minutes at most, and I did not proceed to record because I do have respect for the privacy of others, and I did not want to exacerbate the problem by making this state trooper feel uncomfortable. And in this particular case, the state trooper remained very professional throughout the entire procedure. And by professional, I mean a lot of authoritative figures, whether it be a state trooper, a sheriff, a police officer, if they are feeling the least bit bitter, they tend to project that out on you to make you feel bad like them. And I have had encounters in the past with authoritative figures where they have intentionally tried to make me feel uncomfortable. And that is a very unsettling and unpleasant experience, especially in knowing that they are abusing their authority for the wrong reasons and with the wrong intentions. And I'm pretty sure that many of you all have had plenty of experiences in the past as well, so you all can relate. But with that all being said, I am just going to now briefly summarize over what transpired on that early afternoon. So let's go ahead and jump right into that. So I had just made my way onto Interstate 540 eastbound in Raleigh, North Carolina. And for those of you all who might be unfamiliar with this area, well, I-540 is an expressway in Wake County, North Carolina that originates in Knightdale, North Carolina. And if you run that 40 miles west, you will wind up in Apex, North Carolina, where 540 ends. But I would like to say about 14 miles before reaching Apex, North Carolina, you will cross into Mooresville, North Carolina, where I-540 then becomes a toll road for the remainder of those 14 miles. So from Mooresville, North Carolina, all the way to Apex, North Carolina, 540, when heading west or east, is in fact a toll road. And I know that is irrelevant to this video, but I just wanted to throw that out there to you all who might be unfamiliar with this area. And also, if you have ever traveled to RDU airport by flight, then you have probably unknowingly flown directly above Interstate 540. Okay. Now this is very important. I was actually empty during the time of this occurrence. And I say that because a lot of state troopers tend to target commercial vehicles that are carrying cargo or weight, because now their chances of making more money increases. Think about it. They can now issue or have a chance of issuing a weight ticket along with an inspection ticket while performing both tasks simultaneously, meaning that they are not spending any extra time while performing both tasks, if that makes sense. Of course, sorry about that. Now, I would like to say about 8 miles, but before then, the speed limit for the most part on this highway is 70 miles per hour. So I tend to set my cruise control at 64 miles per hour just for safety protocol, because keep in mind that these large trucks, even when empty, cannot stop on the dime like that of a regular size vehicle. So if you do not drive a commercial vehicle, please remember that before cutting off one of these heavy trucks. And I just wanted to throw that out there, okay? So now I would like to say about 8 miles up the interstate is where I approached this state trooper SUV Tahoe that is sitting in the inside median. But getting pulled over by this state trooper at this particular time is actually the least of my worries, since I am empty, and I assumed that if anything he had larger fish to fry, but apparently not, because directly after passing by, I look into my driver's side mirror and I see that he is slowly starting to merge onto the interstate. And bear in mind that he is facing the same direction that I am traveling, which is eastbound on 540. But yes, he merges onto the interstate, in which he is able to successfully make his way over 3 lanes, and boom, within a snap of an eye, he is directly behind I. Okay, but check this out. He does not even pull me over immediately. No. In fact, he follows me for an additional 7 miles, and at that point, I have now approached my exit ramp. So I signal off to my right, and that is when he decides to throw on his sirens. But I was well aware of what he was going to do in advance, because I have been pulled over by these state troopers numerous times in the past, so I pretty much know what to expect. Now, what I do is I pull over to the right-hand shoulder of my exit ramp, and I turn on my flashers. The state trooper pulls about 100 feet behind truck CDO3, and I guess that is for their safety protocol. But this is a very cool tip that I advise for you all if you ever find yourself in this situation. What I always tend to do is to make sure that I have my seat belt on, and also that my vehicle is well organized, because how the inside of your vehicle appears reflects back on how the state trooper will initially perceive you, if that makes sense. Okay, so the state trooper approaches the passenger window of truck CDO3 and begins by asking to see my commercial driver license along with the registration and insurance information pertaining to truck CDO3. And I was able to provide him with all of those documents, in which all came or tested to be valid. Okay, so from there, he proceeds to inspect the front of the truck. Okay, and these are the following components and items that he inspects. So he inspects the front windshield wiper blades, both high beams, both low beams, both turning signals, my horn, and also both front tires, which had the adequate amount of air pressure along with the appropriate amount of tire thread. And from there, he looks underneath the truck to inspect for any oil, coolant, transmission, or hydraulic leaks. And truck CDO3 does not have any mechanical leaks. And if there are any, they are not visible to the naked human eye, or it is a very small leak. Okay, so he has me to pump my brakes so that I can lower my air pressure. That way he can inspect for any air leaks. And likewise, CDO3 does not have any air leaks whatsoever. The only thing that leaks air on this truck is when the tires are flat. You feel me? Yes, but moving along, he proceeds to inspect the back of truck CDO3, in which he checks to see if the following components are valid: my rear brake lights, my rear turning signals, and both rear lights. And all three checked to be valid. And also, all of my aluminum wheels were in good condition, meaning that there were no seal leaks whatsoever. And also, all of my tires had the adequate amount of tire pressure and appropriate amount of tire thread. So I was pretty much good to go there, but this is where things got a little bit shaky. I was unable to provide proof of a periodic annual inspection while operating a commercial vehicle. So therefore, I was given a warning, which is a good thing, because he could have easily issued me a citation in which the company that I drive for would then have to pay a fine or fee of some sort. So he did cut me a break there, and I am very grateful for that, because not all state troopers would have allowed for me to get by. And personally, I remained cool, calm, and collective. I did not show any animosity or hostility whatsoever. I complied and corroborated with all of his commands. And I can almost guarantee that if I had been the least bit disobedient, that he would have probably issued me a citation. For future reference, if you find yourself in this predicament, please obey the authority of the state trooper or authority figure, because they have the power to make the situation much more worse than should be. Okay. And hear me out on this as well. Not all state troopers are going to be the same. That is why I kind of hate getting pulled over in general because you never know how they are going to approach you. You just never know what to expect with the things. And sometimes if they cannot find anything negative on the driver or on the vehicle, then they might try to intentionally provoke the driver of that vehicle to see how they will respond. What I normally tend to do is try my absolute best to keep a calm demeanor. But fortunately, in this case, I had a state trooper who reacted in the complete opposite fashion. He, like I said, he was professional throughout the entire procedure. He did not try to hassle me, and I did understand that he was only doing his job. And yes, I was a bit upset at first because I figured that he was just wasting my time, although I was getting paid by the hour, because there were other trucks that were loaded coming up the highway, heading the same direction, and out of all those vehicles, he decided to pull me over. But he probably knew where I was going or coming from, because there were actually 12 other trucks that were working on this job on that particular day. And another reason might be because truck CDO3 was very dirty at the time. You know, it was very dirty. We had been hauling dirt. It was a mess. It was a big mess on the job site, and I might throw in a little clip. I'll debate on that. But all in all, everything went fine. I didn't have any issues. It was pretty straightforward. Like I said, it took about 25 minutes, between 25, 30 minutes. I was able to continue the rest of my day stress-free. I didn't have to worry about anything. Like I said, I know I'm good, but I didn't have to worry about my father and his business partner having to pay a citation. And also, I forgot to mention that he did check to see that my fuel sticker was valid. And we are a local-based company, meaning that we only conduct business in the state of North Carolina. So any transactions pertaining to the fuel tax should only relate to the state. Include that information in this video. Okay, but guys, I think that I am going to wrap this video up, because I am actually in the process of reflecting back on what fully happened. Okay, so I may have left out some information, but I was able to provide all of the key details on what went down that day. So with that being all said, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel and to share and to like this video. Your boy